I'll be there in my red.
But no, it's like, isn't the mistress always wearing red at the funeral?
No.
Not to compare a wedding to a funeral, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Messy Mondays, where we tell your mess the best. And it's your girl Shomi and your girl Molly Mar. Hey everybody.
Hey.
So we wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for our last week's guest, Mr. Africa Gio. Yay! Thank you, Gio, for being part of our plan and being part of our process here.
He was so great, such a gentleman, so supportive, and, you know, really honest and open with us.
Super honest, I agree.
And it's such a different balance of, you know, the different men we've had so far, right? So one of like the player and one with like the, you know, past married and learning kind of growth kind of thing. So I loved that we have those two variations so far.
Right, and I would say that I agree with you when you use the term growth, because I felt growth when he was expressing himself. Like, even though what he did was super dirty, I felt as if he was speaking from a place of don't do it if you're in my position type thing. Like, he was speaking like a wise person, which is really good, because for those of us who are listening and who are battling that struggle of being bored while you're married, because I think that's really what it is. I think people just get bored of the monotony. You know, he's basically saying think twice, because he really hurt his wife in a very big way, and he had to uproot his whole life when he had an affair. So lesson learned for sure.
And it has to do with age also. He was quite young. He had a child very young.
Super young. Like,
you're not really
young.
Yeah, you're not really adulting at that moment right away. That's why I said he grew up fast, because he probably had to figure it out.
Like
really
a forceful grow up.
Yeah, but it wasn't like developed in time and learning lessons throughout the way. It was just, it hit you right then and there.
Absolutely.
So, but definitely great, insightful, get you know more of an idea of different men that are out there.
And we always like when testosterone's on the podcast. You feel me? Because it's like it's a good balance. It's a switch of pace from the ladies, you know. And
yes,
make sure to always check out the heartbreakersmusic.com and support the movement, because those who support us, we support, and it's all about cross promotion and making sure that local talent gets acknowledged. So once again, thank you so much, Africa Gio. Make sure to follow him on Instagram. And without further ado, we gotta get into that normal messy stuff that we always love to talk about.
The fun part.
The fun part. And come on, guys, let's not act like we don't know that these keeping up with the Kardashian pregnancies have not been all over the place.
Nothing's confirmed yet, right? But it is like too close to the source confirmed kind of thing. Like,
right,
you know, they're coming out in almost confirmations. They're coming out like confirmations without them saying it.
Do you think Kylie's pregnant? I don't think Kylie's pregnant.
I'm 50-50. I can see the possibility, but I don't think her mom plays like that with her.
But what does her mom have to do with whether or not she's pregnant? Like, I feel like at this point, if a person that's that relevant, that rich, you know, that popular, if she's having a kid, it's because she chooses to. Like, there's no way that this is a mistake. Like, they can cover up dead bodies at this point. Like, they're the Kardashians. You see what I'm saying? Like, these bitches have money. So it's like they don't have to make any of these things public. So I don't know if she's pregnant. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, she keeps posting shit. It could be old posts. I don't know. I feel like Kylie is not pregnant, and I feel like in a way they're just trying to hide the fact that Khloe is, and they were trying to do like a distraction, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, I really don't think Kylie's pregnant.
You're right. That actually might be a good plan. I like that kind of strategy. Put the other one out there, right? Yeah. Like, suffer the other one, like throw her out and, you know, hide on the
I mean,
Khloe.
It could just be a big media ploy, like the Kardashians are known for possibly doing, that they,
because the season's coming back.
Right, they use their controversy to kind of just keep you hooked.
I'm excited for all of them. And we know that Kim has a surrogate.
She has a surrogate. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they said it's a boy or a girl yet, but I'm excited for her because she showed us her trial and tribulations of actually trying.
Right.
And the process that she's gone through. And so she knows that she can't have another one herself physically, because it would be more harmful to her body and to the baby.
And not every woman is meant or set up for childbirth. We know that now with education. In the past, you know, women would just die. and like it was what it was. But like now with education, we know that not every woman is necessarily meant to like bear many children.
Exactly. And then for Chloe, I mean, we watched between her and Lamar. The thing was, though, and I saw this somewhere, where either he
was
wasn't,
him.
the drugs with him was the big problem.
Yeah.
Because she was trying. She was going for her shots.
Yeah.
She showed us this as she was going. And it comes to a point where you just stop. Because if that other person is not reciprocating, if there's not, trying anymore,
Yeah, but
why
she
put up
dodged the
with that?
bullet not having a baby with that man. Seriously.
I
That
hate
was
to say
God.
that, but yeah, it
That
was
was
for
God.
a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
And he has his kids.
He does. He does.
So, and he-
it's just that, I mean, clearly she did the most to be in that relationship and to like try to make it work. And like she truly showed the actual definition of family, because she was there for him at the end as a family member, even though he didn't deserve it. Like she was a true family. And to be honest with you, I really respect Chloe a lot because of that, because it's like she could have been a completely different human in this circumstance, and she wasn't. She was extremely involved in his life, and she kind of became his mom, and I really respect Chloe a lot for that. And I think that's one of the reasons why people kind of favor Chloe in a lot of situations, because she's kind of the one that she doesn't do the Hollywood shit that much. She kind of is like a human being. And I think it was a blessing that she didn't get pregnant by Lamar Odom. And even though this whole situation with Tristan, that her new man that she's pregnant by, which I'm super happy for her, they're going to have really tall babies, which is awesome.
Extremely tall.
A couple of athletes.
Pure basketball players.
Which is dope. And I think it's
WNBA, NBA, whatever the case is.
Maybe another Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
Which is dope. But you know that her baby daddy is also the baby daddy to Iniko's sister. For those of you who don't know who Iniko is, and I hope I'm not butchering her name, that's Kevin Hart's wife, guys.
That is insane. Wait. Tristan has a baby mama.
Baby mama.
The one he left while she was pregnant to
Yes.
go with Chloe.
Yes. Which happens to be the sister of Kevin Hart's
Who's
wife.
the sister of Kevin Hart's wife. Wow.
Yeah. Small world, huh?
Small world. Well, not our world, but yes, small world.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So with that being said, girl, it don't matter, Chloe. The point is right now you having a baby with this man, and congratulations. And I don't think Kylie's pregnant, and we know Kim's having a baby. And all that's left is that Courtney has another motherfucking kid with Scott. So that's all we're missing.
I can't listen. I love Scott though.
Scott is hot now.
He's dating a 19-year-old though.
No.
He's dating Lionel Richie's daughter.
That is Lionel Richie's daughter. I didn't know she was 19 though.
Yeah, there's Nicole Richie and then the other one. I don't know what the other one's name is.
19?
She's 19.
Bro.
Scott is 36. 36 or 35.
I'm grossed out right now. I'm grossed out right now by Scott Disick. Real shit.
And I
hate
him.
when guys fuck with 19-year-olds. Like, it really bothers me.
Well, we gotta do the math, right? I don't have a calculator in front of me. And I sure can't do no math off the top of my head. But if he's 35, that's a 16-year difference, right? That's Beyonce and Jay-Z are just about 11-year difference. But I think the thing with age is the older in age feels like the closest in age. But when the person's younger, like it just feels like so far. But 16 years and 19 years old and 36 with 3 kids.
I get it, and I know maybe it might be a double standard. I'm a little more comfortable sometimes when I believe the woman is mature. I don't know this girl, but I think in general, 19 to 36 is a very big age gap, regardless of which gender is the one that's older. Like, I think that is pretty big of a difference. And for Scott, just because he's famous, you feel me? Like, it's even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, real shit. But he just, I don't know, he probably wanted some fresh vagina that was tender and young.
Another piece to the new season.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Another
How
piece.
Courtney
We're all
handles
gonna
this
tune
shit.
in. We're all gonna tune in. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a story. Back to our regularly scheduled program. We do Messy Mondays and we do Messy Stories. And this time we had a story submitted by a Gina. And she's actually telling us about a backslide. For those of you who don't know what a backslide is when you get back with your ex real quick. Just real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's the backslide. Whenever you
Where
go
he
and you sleep with your ex,
right back on in.
slide back into it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and express our story, and then we're going to definitely dissect in true fashion of Messy Monday. So it starts like this. Last May, Gina met Martin on a dating app, and she thought that she met the love of her life. Gina says that he was adventurous, Jeep-owning, thrill-seeking, passionate man who also was a captain of a yacht and a real hipster type of guy. Gina fell in love with him almost immediately. They would spend all their time together and have nightly sleepovers at each other's place. Gina noticed he drank way too much and that they would get blackout drunk on the norm, which led to him one time kissing her best friend. But because Gina was so in love, she decided to look the other way. The problem started when they were going on a girls' trip to Las Vegas, and he accused her of being in Vegas for bad reasons and bad things, and that she was going to be unfaithful, which ruined Gina's trip. They shortly after went on vacation to Dominican Republic together, and he was verbally abusive to her and made her feel as if she was unwanted because he did not trust what she did or did not do in Vegas. And they never even had sex on their vacation in DR, and they were there for a whole week. They broke up eventually. All the negative experiences and that happened ended up for them to have a breakup, and Martin tried to rekindle things with Gina, and Gina stood her ground and said no. Fast forward to present day, Martin messages Gina during a sexual drought that she was experiencing, and she agreed to the rendezvous. He appeared at Gina's doorstep at 1 a.m. and stayed for the next 2 nights. Even though Gina could sense that he had something else on his mind, she just enjoyed the weekend for what it was. 2 days later, Gina got a call from a female asking if she knew who Martin was. Gina responds, yes. Female asks, did you have sex with Martin recently? Gina responds, yes. Female asks, did you use a condom? Gina says, no, we did not. Then a bunch of noise just happened in the background because they were on speakerphone, and then the female explains to her that she is Pam and that she's Martin's current girlfriend for the past 6 months, and if Gina could forward her all the text conversations they had. She then explained that she was in the car with Martin when she was listening to the conversation, and they were on Bluetooth. When Gina responded, he pushed Pam out of the car once they confirmed that he was cheating. Pam then explains to Gina that the same night that he showed up at Gina's apartment at 1 a.m., he had picked a fight with her, broke up with her, and dropped her off at her house right before heading to Gina's. Gina just told her the truth and apologized just based on girl code, and she just let it go. But then Pam, a week later, after the incident, forwarded her all the text messages between her and Martin to prove to her that Martin and them have worked out their problems and they were going to stay together. And that is her Messy Monday.
That's a lot of soaking in.
It is, I agree.
So, first of all, he needs to chill about the Vegas. I know this is old, but all bad things do happen in Vegas, so let that shit be. That's some sucker shit to be worried about.
I think that
let people have fun.
Insecure guys do that shit. Whenever you like.
That's my next part. This just shows the insecurity. This is him. That's his insecurity showing that first time.
Yeah.
When something like that. And then that's where the controlling piece comes, because later down the line, he becomes aggressive and disrespectful.
Disrespectful as fuck, actually, to me. That's what it seems like.
That's what it seems like to me, too.
Mm-hmm. I think that he also, you know how when people accuse when they're guilty?
Yes.
You know?
Definitely. But she cut off all ties with him, right?
I mean, now, because he's with his Pam and shit, you know what I'm saying? But
and don't get in the middle of people's stuff. Like, sometimes that whole, like, send me all his text messages kind of thing, it really kind of be like, I really don't want any part in this. Like, I
Yeah.
really don't want a part of y'all's situation, y'all drama. And if her text messages or conversation with him, I mean, she has nothing to, you know, to really display because nothing really happened between the two in that sense.
I mean, she had sex with him all weekend.
Yeah, I still wouldn't share that.
And this is Pam's boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it was unprotected. You know what I'm saying? So I could totally understand how Pam is like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand that. I mean, I think it's a little crazy that he pushed Pam out the car when he got caught. Like, he panicked and he like shoved the bitch out the car. Like, that's crazy. Like, he didn't know what else to do. He
But to
took
push
the
a bitch,
only
and
option
that's
he
some
had.
wrong ass shit. Like, that's some abusive shit. Neither one of them needs to be with him. I just want to make that clear.
I think this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, straight trash.
I'm sorry. Straight trash. This guy needs to be dumped. Like, he's a trash ass man. Real shit. I don't even know him, but based off of he kissed your best friend when he was drunk. What the fuck?
Like all the
why are you
signs.
acting like that didn't just happen? Your best friend? Like, let's evaluate what just happened here. I need a lot of explanations as to how this even got to that point.
There was a lot of signs, I guess, before this relationship got deeper. The no sex at DR. Like, DR is like the most sexiest place in the world. Get your shit right. Like, how do you not? Please.
Who goes on vacation and doesn't want to have sex is the real question. Like, come on. Even if you go single, you have the little bit of it'd be nice to have sex here. Like, it's vacation. Like, that's what you do. Like, people want to be in sexual environments when they're on vacation. Not that
That's
you
a little
always
weird.
execute, but you know. I don't know. I feel like this guy is a piece of shit. Like, I'm going to just keep saying that. Like, I really don't like him at all. I don't like this guy at all.
Stay far away. Cut all ties, as you said, but like, just don't.
Blackout drinking all the time? Come on, blackout drinking. Guys, we all like to have a good time, but you don't need to black the fuck out every time you drink. Like, this person has many signs of a person that's not healthy.
Yeah.
Meaning, he has a drinking problem, possibly. He is a womanizer. And he is also capable of being physically abusive.
Yeah.
Capable of it. He is, because if he's pushing a bitch out the car, like, not every guy's going to take that reaction because he just got caught. Not every guy's going to push you up. For those of you who are listening and you think it's normal for men to behave that way, no, it really is not. Not every man does that.
Not at all.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of very respectful men that still believe in values and still do not believe that it's appropriate for them to put hands on women under any circumstance. So, I don't understand how Pam went back into that. But that's Pam's problem now. You know what I'm saying? That's not our problem. But I'm glad that Gina kind of saw who he was, because she claims that she was in love with this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that she saw who he was.
And sometimes it takes little things, big things, to have a realization, to have a aha moment, as Oprah would say, where you're just like, no, that's like, I'm good. And luckily she pulled herself away from that.
Absolutely. And I also think that when you're in a relationship with a guy that wants to punish you, that's also a bad sign. Because I feel like he punished her in DR because he didn't like that she went to Vegas.
That's that insecurity part. Like, when you're insecure about your girl not being close to your boyfriend or those kind of things, like, those aren't healthy things. Like, separation is good, being away is fine, having trust is a good thing. Like, just not having trust in that kind of sense, that's
Absolutely.
a problem already. That's a starter for things.
So let me ask you this, Marley. I know that we're a little above that age bracket of the new generation where people kind of share each other. Just a tad. We're like maybe a year away from that. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
We're like
seriously,
off by
like we hit the cusp of that exact culture. And it's like, I don't know if I'm uptight, but I'm not okay with my dude, like, fucking with my friends. Like, I'm not okay with that.
No, I don't think I could. First of all, I think I would become the insecure one or something. Like, I think I would become the one with, like, an anger issue or aggressive, or that's not a cool thing. I'm not.
It's not okay to me.
I find that strange, weird. That's not something I could do. Not something I personally can handle.
Like, I've heard stories of girls telling me they are younger than you and I. I can't say that. And this is not ageism, and I'm not judging, but it's just a generation gap. Like, I've heard of stories where younger girls have expressed to me that, oh, because her man ate me out, or like, you know, we got so fucked up that, like, you know, he ended up, you know, making out with her and then they had sex. It's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, how are these things even happening?
Like, accidents like that just don't like, that's not an accident. Like, those things just don't happen because you're drunk.
Right. I think like oral sex is personal.
All of it is personal.
Yeah, straight up. But I still think when a person takes the time to physically go down on somebody, it's like a conscientious decision.
Yes. You're literally taking the time. Like, there's a lot of process to get there.
Yeah.
So how you got there was simple. Like, you actually put yourself in it.
Exactly. Like, it's not like you fell in it. Like, it's like, you know, it's like a thing.
It's not just in your face.
No,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
You have to think about what you're doing before you do it. So it's like I said, I'm gonna charge this to a generation gap, because I don't see how this even got this far.
Yeah, that should have been a turnoff for her in that very moment when that first started.
When he was getting blacked out drunk and trying to holler at your homegirls and actually kissing your whatever friend was that was okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's when you should have just said, maybe this is not a good option.
Is she still your friend, though? Like,
good question.
You kept him, but did you keep her?
Good question.
Like, both of them is in the wrong, but you kept him and didn't keep her. Like, and we've all probably been there before at our younger ages, where we'll pick, you know, the guy over your friends.
Yeah.
And not listen, and like, we've all been in that situation.
Absolutely.
before.
Especially when he doesn't want you to have an exit. He always takes your friends away from you, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed.
Yes.
Controlling abusive men do that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let the old bitches tell you what it is, because it's the truth. Like, it's just the truth.
It's very, very true.
That's what they do.
Mm-hmm. It's very true. So those are just one of those things where I'm just like, there were signs previously before, and lesson learned, and now you know for the next one. Like, what are those signs? Like, what are those things?
I agree. And next time you go to Dominican Republic, remember Marley said that shit is sexy out there. So
how you not having fun? Like, how you not having sex out in DR?
That's crazy. You going on a couples trip to an island, a Caribbean island. Fuck that, a Caribbean island. Period. And you're not gonna be fucking like savages. Of course you will. Like, it's just like, it's vacation.
Yeah, that's weird. That's
weird. And it's all inclusive, most likely, because you know how them shits be. So it's like, you drunk. It's like, come on, man. Like,
I've never done an all inclusive hotel yet in DR.
What?
We so have cheap. A family house, so True. It's like, you're there. Now, recently my parents and family went, and my mom was like, I'm here as a tourist. I'm not here to see people, family, none of that. And they just went about their business.
Sometimes you gotta go to DR on the low.
Yeah, went about their business, didn't tell nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
And they went on horseback riding, went to the waterfalls.
Had a vacation.
All the things they've never done.
Right.
And went have some fun.
Or like we used to say, the shit the white people be doing when they come over here. So it's like, you want to do the shit they do. You know what I mean? No offense to white people. I love white people. But I'm just saying, like, you know, it's true. That's how Hispanics, that's how minorities speak, by the way. For those of you who are white, like, we refer to you as the white people. Like, it's just, I know it's terrible, but that's how it is when you speak another language.
The best description that we got. We'll do better.
Yeah, we'll get there. Education helps, guys. Exposure, Instagram, the internet. All of that is helping with the unification of us. But with that being said, Gina, girl, let this motherfucker go. Block his number. Don't ever let him be the solution to the sex drought. Because I get the sex drought. We all been there. That it's like, yo, I might just say yes. I might just say yes. This guy's hitting me up.
There's always better. Yeah. There's always better. There is so much dick out in the world. There is so much better.
Or just get like a new guy. You met this guy online. There's many other guys you can meet online. Like, all they want to do is have sex with guys online. That's all they want to do.
That's the problem. And that's the problem I be having. But we'll save that one for another day.
We're going to have an entire episode on online dating. We have to.
I've never really... We'll save it for another episode.
Okay. And by the way, for those of you who are listening, Marley is going to go on about 7 online dates before we even record it. So this bitch can have some data. Because at the end of the day, we need data. Okay? I'm just saying. I said it. And there
Collection data?
We need data, bitch. This is from research. This is science. That's what you gotta say. This is science.
I do need to set myself up to go on several dates out here to really figure out the men of Seattle. So
market research.
For the culture and for the podcast, I will test that out.
Look at this. She's such a good fucking sport. I love it. Go ahead, girl.
You and all my friends will be super proud of me.
I'm very proud.
I'd be swiping.
I'm pushing it.
I'd be swiping and be
left
like,
or right?
This is... All of them be going left.
Oh, wait, left is... Okay, then you're insane
left
picky.
Is no.
You're insane picky, Marley. Like, everyone cannot be left. That's bullshit.
No, okay, and here's the problem. No, and we'll just get into this right now. So here's the problem. I don't know where to start with the conversation. Like, I'm that person where it just sits there. Like, we'll be matched. And I'll just be like, we're just sitting here. Let me tell you, too, I feel like my pictures look so amazing that I have to live up to the picture now. But I was like, damn, that's a dope picture that I can't recreate again in person. Like, I just don't have it in me.
That I agree with. For anyone who online dates, don't make your pictures so outrageously different from who you are. I think that you should try to be who you are. And I'm pretty sure, Molly, that you look the same as you do because you're doing too much. I fucking know you. I know you. That's why
I don't have like a shit ton of filters on there, like a complete Photoshop. It's just like, damn, that was a good day. I was feeling and looking good that day.
Because that's really who you are, though.
I need to recreate that day, like that feel.
Oh my god!
And if I open it right now, I don't open it because I don't have notifications for my Tinder and my Bumble. And Bumble, you know, you're supposed to talk first
as the female, right?
Them cuties just be sitting there. I'll be like, I'll get back to him.
Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, it is my mission before the month of November hits for Marley to have data for the market research that we're trying to do for our fucking segment on online dating. I said it. Show Me has spoken, and it is gonna go down. Episode 9. I said it. Okay, guys.
I just need someone to do the conversations for me. Because if you're a cornball, I'm just gonna close out. I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay. I don't know.
But sometimes people don't know how to start. You gotta warm up.
I know.
And there's safe questions like, what do you do for a living? What kind of foods do you like? Do you like to go to the movies? Like, you gotta start generic. You can't be like, yo, so what's your plan for the next 10 years? Are you planning to have 6 kids? No. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start light. You gotta start very light. And then eventually things will just happen.
We'll save it for next month.
People get married off of these shits. That's what I hear.
I've heard.
But whatever. That's what we got to say about Gina. And we're going to keep y'all very in tune with Miss Marley Mar's dating escapades. It might be even dope if we can record one of her dates. I'm just saying.
Escapades.
I'm thinking ahead. I'm just saying, yes, Marley, besides Messy Mondays, I've been telling you this shit. So let's not act like I haven't been telling you this shit. But aside from that, we're going to have to talk about a little bit about internet backlash, guys. Because since we're on the topic of internet and online dating, there is a backlash of being online and all of this. Look at what happened to Cardi. As soon as this bitch went #1 and she made the mistake of posting that hoe that hates her, pandemonium.
But no, you know what? That was a good clackback. Because the tag of the video said, one of the reasons Bodak Yellow went #1, because even the haters love it. Like, how accurate is that?
Shit was amazing. When I saw it, it had 2 million views.
That was hilarious.
That's powerful, son.
Hilarious. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, Azalea Banks, she has one really good song, maybe 2, and they're really, really good songs. And you know that she could be possible. I think she's half Dominican, I want to say, too. But she's very...
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's very Harlem, Bronx. Like, she knows her, culture and all that stuff. I want to say she's Spanish in some way. Anyways, she claims, that Bodak Yellow was written like a ghostwriter, that Cardi don't deserve it, and then she's sucking dick for raps.
The hood Nikki or some shit. What she calls her?
Like the bootleg Nikki or some foolishness.
The bootleg Nikki.
Something like that.
And whatever.
And we've said this before in the podcast. Cardi's always had a personality prior to blowing up and prior to the number one. So essentially, Azalea was always saying that she didn't really care for the song, or it was all right, it was all good, but Nicki needs, I guess, the recognition that Cardi was getting. She believes that Nicki should be getting all of that love, because right now there is a slight not caring for Nicki too much, but Nicki has not been providing quality music like she used to.
The thing with Nicki is that Rake It Up, Yo Gotti.
No, that shit's dope.
One of the best songs of the summer.
Race with China, just to race with China.
That shit is dope. That's a dope, that's to me like a good example of Nicki Minaj being a rapper.
Yes.
And also being like a female kind of sexy type of rapper. She used relevant context of what was going on right now. Was it a reach to use Black China because she knows that's going to get her views? Yes. But then again, we're all in business, so we are going to do things that is going to gravitate, conversation and controversy. So I know why she referred to Black China. I know why she put her in the video, because that shit was trending. But as far as the quality, I mean, are we all just believing now that Safari was really ghostwriting for this bitch? Like, should we just admit it out loud and say, you know what, Safari wrote all your shit?
Yeah.
Because it's not a coincidence that your fucking career kind of took a left lyrically when you stopped fucking Safari.
Yeah. And when you hear Safari's corny ass raps, where they all rhyme like back to back, and you're just like, sounds familiar to a person who used to rap in that way.
Right. And it should only be a female that raps like that, not a man. You know what I'm saying? Like Nicki in her day, and that I wasn't a big fan, and that I still don't think she's kind of dope in certain eras. But I think she's losing her thunder.
She needs to come back. Listen, and with Remy Ma, that was legitimately, it was a hard hit, because Remy Ma kills it on there, and she didn't deliver for us. Nicki did not deliver for us in return to get back at Remy. So I think that
it was actually fucking whack, actually.
Yeah, so I think that also lost a little bit of your spark, but it's not like Nicki's dead. It's not like nobody likes or cares for her. It's just at the moment, let Cardi B have her shine. And Azalea Banks was just upset.
She's still getting millions of views, though. Like, Nicki's still relevant as fuck. Like, she's famous as hell.
Exactly. It's not like she's irrelevant. So it's one of those things where Azalea Banks was just trying to say Nicki should be having to shine. Nobody giving Nicki love. But Nicki didn't make it to number one solo artist without a feature kind of deal. Like, this is different. This is a different situation. Right. So Azalea's always looking for attention anyway.
She threw shade too, saying that there's so many other black female rappers and MCs that deserved it, and that the only reason that Cardi is there where she is because she wants to be, because black men want to fuck her. That's harsh. And if I were Cardi, I would be offended, because it's like, so you're telling me that the only reason I'm successful is because black men would like to have sex with me, but black men would not like to have sex with other women that are rappers. It's like, I would definitely ask for clarification on that. And also, it's like, how fucking insulting is that?
Yeah.
Like, it's not only black men that listen to hip hop, by the way. It's not only black men that listen to rap music. It's not only black men that go to strip clubs. It's not only black men that, buy albums. Like, it's a culture. There's so many different ethnicities. There's so many different backgrounds that follow music, that it really sometimes upsets me that we still try to bubble it in, this is a black, no, it's not. This is a culture. Yes, I believe that it is more relevant in the black culture because it's been with them longer. But ever since I grew up, since I was a kid, I've been listening to hip hop, and I'm not black. So it's not about race. It's about a culture. It's a following. It's something that you prefer. So it's like, I didn't think that was appropriate for her to say. I didn't think it was appropriate for her to say that the only reason that Cardi B is relevant is because black men want to have sex with her. That was crazy.
Yeah, and she's always trying to make points that don't actually fit the the conversation sometimes. She tries to go outside of it because she's always just seeking sort of that attention or more awareness and those kind of things. So,
well, speaking of since we're on the topic, we were gonna bring up Iggy Azalea. I think it's a great way to just segue into that, since we were just talking about the whole race thing. Come on, guys, let's be honest. Iggy Azalea gets a lot of shit because she's white.
Yes, there is. There is a lot she gets from it. And it could be, I know at times, like we all gotta admit, Fancy was a really nice track. It actually is similar to another song, and I can't remember the name of that song it originally from. But it was a really nice track. It blew up. The video was nice because it was in montage or replica of Clueless, which is my favorite movie, and she did an awesome video for that. And so slowly but surely, she was getting a little bit of backlash, but her album sold. Her album was out there. She was winning. She was getting nominated for awards and things like that. But
I'm not saying she was great.
No,
crazy. I'm not saying like, oh, let me go get a.
And what happens with award shows is that we have to be respectful of the fact that it is highlighting that year, that season. So if Nicki's records or someone's records aren't doing good, or not, or she doesn't have anything out, and Iggy Azalea has something within that same category that's actually doing pretty well, you have to respect the fact that for that year or that season, that person is doing good. That's it. Same thing.
Isn't it based on sales and like streams and shit?
And same thing. Like Nicki put out.
So it's all just numbers. It's fact.
It's all fact when you win something. So
yeah,
I found, I know there's a lot of backlash with people saying that she's mostly, there's this thing where she has that southern accent a little bit, which I find it weird.
Does she?
She does. If you listen, it's a little bit off.
So she's not Australian?
She is Australian. But when she speaks when she tries to clear her English so she doesn't sound so Australian, actors do, whatever.
Yeah.
She has this, when she raps, it sounds a little bit of a southern.
But does she chill in the South? And it's,
but the thing is that she's signed to T.I., right?
Well,
So she's spending all her time in Atlanta.
But let's think about it. Like
when you pick up things.
When people migrate from other countries and speak other languages, they're going to pick up the accent of the state that they moved to, right?
Yes.
It's just what happens. That's the type of English she learned. I'm not defending her, but that's the American English that she learned. You know what I'm saying? Like if we move to a certain area that their dialect is like this in France, that's the type of French you're going to speak. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I think also. So if like we were talking before, if I moved to the Baltimore, DC area, they have a whole different linguistic and dialect how they speak out there. Or Miami, if you pick up that Cuban kind of feel, whatever.
Literally, what you mean?
What do you mean? I say literally way too much out here.
Me too, too much.
People but those are the kind of things they're picking up. So I see that aspect of it. But she does get a lot of hate. She doesn't get, I don't know if we give her chance fully, or are we really going to give her another chance?
I'm not going to act like I was ever enthusiastic about her music. I'm not going to act that way because it wasn't because she was white or anything. It was just because it was something that I never personally took time to really get into it. So I can't necessarily give you a real judgment call in regards to her music. But what I can say is that, she had hits. She has a nice butt. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up right now. That's what's popular. So she fits into that category. I know her man was a basketball player and he cheated on her crazy. I know that. And
with his ex, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I did remember that. But aside from that, I don't really have an opinion about her. I just think she's another act that is gonna sell records. And I think that we've gotten to the point in the culture of music and in the culture of hip hop to understand that is really what is quote unquote cool in the United States. That's the cool factor. Hip hop is the cool factor here. So it's it's not because of a color. It's because of a culture, and it's because of a style. How many kids do we see online of all kinds of backgrounds that are awesome hip hop dancers? Awesome hip hop dancers. You just watch and you're like, wow, this is fantastic dancing. Asian kids from Vietnam, Hispanic children from Indian descent, Asian anything. And it's like we've gotten to that point in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's not only a one track thing. It's very open, which I think is a good thing. I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad either. I don't know too fully all the parts and pieces of why there's so much backlash to her. I do think she's probably a little bit more pop. She has it's this line in between, right? Because almost like that Justin Bieber line, where like his last album was a little bit close to like too R&B ish, but he's a pop artist.
He sounds very R&B ish. I agree with you.
But he's a pop artist, right? So I think in that same line, like that's where that falls on. But
true.
I mean, she's having a hard time coming back too. It's not gonna be easy to fall in line.
I don't think she's gonna come back.
I don't know either.
Real shit.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
And just like I didn't follow her as much like that. I wasn't invested in her. She was just there. And then I just kept seeing all the backlash and I'm like, this girl's just, I don't have any investment in her. So it is what it is. There's a lot of artists out there I don't have investments in. I don't like.
To be honest with you, I think that in this situation, I think white women are going to have a really big challenge on being accepted in the urban and hip hop community. I think that white women are discriminated upon heavily in our communities because we always give them the hardest time to be accepted. Mm-hmm. So I think that this challenge is not going to be resolved with Iggy Azalea. There's going to have to be another female MC that's white that's going to be Eminem status. You know what I'm saying? And then that's going to be accepted. But I think that being the fact that we still live in a society that men's struggles get overcome a lot faster than female struggles, I think that the female white rapper struggle is going to last quite some time.
Yeah. Well, the female aspect in rap anyways is very small.
Right.
And it's very, you've really got to fight for it.
You really got to fight for
that. Doesn't.
You either got to be super sexual or you got to be Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you got to be good.
I mean, Lauryn Hill's queen. You feel me? Like, that's insane. But it's like you either have to be that or you have to be like an ex-stripper. Real shit.
People are just making it out here nowadays.
People are just making it. And men still don't see us as a valuable asset to business unless they can fuck us or unless we blow their shit out the water. Like, oh my God.
Isn't that what
you know
Rick
what I'm
Ross,
saying? Like, it's
Rick Ross said when Angela Yee asked him on Breakfast Club, would you sign or would you ever sign again another female rapper? And he said no, because I would feel like I would want to fuck her because I'm gonna dress her up.
I'll be too busy trying to fuck her.
Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna get her, give her all this money to get all dolled up and all this stuff, and then she's gonna look attractive, and I'm gonna end up hitting on her, like that cycle of it. But he knew right off bat he wasn't going to be able to get himself out of that cycle of automatically seeing her as an object as opposed to seeing her as a professional and seeing her as someone to put out there and you invested and now she's blowing up kind of deal. He's seeing her automatically. I'm gonna have to want her. Like, I'm gonna want to fuck her.
That bothers me.
That bothers me too, because it doesn't bother me that he's able to see it first so that it doesn't happen, right? Like, I'll give credit for that, right? Where you know your actions already, so you stop yourself from it. So that's nice that you know that's great that you know your behavior. But the fact that you can't control yourself, can't humanize yourself, and can't put yourself in a business aspect before anything else, before sex, is the problem. And that you don't see any female rapper as capable as a male for you to invest in and just let them flourish and make them hits.
Or you just can't be so consumed by her talent that you automatically want to have sex with her. Like, why isn't it that what she brings to the table as a professional is so much more important than your nut?
Like, why making more money is not as important as getting, like, that doesn't make sense.
Right. Like somebody once told me, they gave me very good advice. The way you battle with men not taking you seriously as a businesswoman is that the man has to see that there's more value to you being part of his business versus him having sex with you. Like, that's how men work. Like, if this girl can provide me more of a gain than it would be to have sex with her, then I'm going to take her seriously as a partner. So that is how men think. And it's like, it's more important for you to possibly have a quick session of sex with your artist, Rick Ross, than to just acknowledge that this individual has the capacity to gravitate and to grow and to like be a money machine because she's that ill. You know what I'm saying? You're so busy just saying, "Oh, I may want to hit it." Like,
that's what I'm saying.
what?
That's
Like,
it's just foolish.
Like,
it's just stupid, and it's immature, and it's dumb shit. Because you should be about your business first before everything else.
but I think it's honest. It's honest,
And saved another girl some time from signing.
Yeah, but then that's why a lot of women don't get chances. Because then it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now the guy, the mogul, doesn't want to hire you because he can't handle his attraction towards you. That's not fair. So you can only make it if you a physically super bad bitch. But then if you're too bad, like, nobody wants to fucking work with you.
Exactly.
Come on. It's just too much. I feel like we're getting to a better place as women. I feel like we're being respected more and acknowledged more. And I'm very sorry to say that things are still not where they need to be. But I think we're all working on it, going to the best direction. And if no one else agrees with me, I don't really give a fuck. But to be honest with you, the reason that men do what they do is because they know that we're more powerful than they do. And the only way they can control us is by keeping us under them. Because in reality, I believe that if women truly get to perform to the highest of their capabilities, we're going to run circles around men. That's truly how I feel.
Killing them. 100% truly. Killing them.
And I'm not even like, I love men. It's not even about that. Like, I have conversations with both sexes on a regular basis. And I really, truly believe that women have something up on men in a lot of areas.
Yeah. My office is filled with women. Mm-hmm. My whole team. There's probably one male on the whole team out of like 14 of us. Including my CMO is a woman. And so that's when moments like that, when I get into a room and I'm like, damn, like we really run this. Mm-hmm. I've even had interviews, and my coworkers can vouch for this. A man came into the interview and saw all the women who were the interviewees for the position. And you can see his male ego and his like just macho man kind of thing the entire time through that meeting, trying to intimidate us, but he was the one being interviewed.
Right. He was just uncomfortable.
No. This was purely him coming out. And we can sense it, and all of us sense it. Oh, yeah.
Like sexist.
Purely. And we were like, does he realize we're interviewing him? Like, you got to work with us. Like those kind of things. But boy, it's still out there. Men are still dogs.
You know what? It's not even about dogs, because I'm going to stop taking that power. I'm going to start taking that power away from men. No, you're not the ones that can hurt us. No, you're not the stronger gender. And as soon as we start taking that power away from men, I think it's going to help. And also, I've even had a coworker tell me to my face, because I work in a competitive environment in my real job, and because of what I do, you have to outperform in order to be the best. So at times they put you to perform against someone else so that they can drive results and keep you motivated. And at one time, this gentleman, older gentleman, he tells me that, how are you going to put me to compete against a woman? Because they put him based on his stats and what he does. They put him to compete with another female that works in my office. That she's also very good. She's a very high producer. And he goes, that's like me competing against a child. And me and another woman were having a conversation with him. And I said, can you clarify what you just said? He's like, come on, I can't compete with a woman that's competing with a child. That's unfair. And we both sat there and we said, this man just called us children to our faces. To my face. And we were supposed to just take it. Like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then you get that reminder.
Dead to your face.
Like, these motherfuckers still, in 2017, still, you motherfuckers look at us like that? Really? And then you make more money than everybody else. You feel me?
Yeah. And that's where you kick his ass and you beat him 100%. Yeah. And go to number one.
And maybe we're just sick and tired of it, and that shit is fueling us, or maybe we don't have support at home, or maybe women are single, or maybe women don't get married anymore, and maybe that's what's making women be the way they are. Or maybe women just decided, you know what, I don't only have to be a person who produces children. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is. But what I do know is whatever you men are doing, that shit is fueling the shit.
We coming for your
out of us.
positions, all y'all jobs, everything. Y'all gonna be stay-at-home.
Yes.
More stay-at-home dads. I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we have something you cannot do.
Yes.
Which is the ability to multitask. So we will leave it at that.
Not
Because
at
men
all.
cannot fucking multitask, even if you pay them more. They cannot. They have to do one thing at a fucking time. Like, wait, let me finish this. I gotta finish this. But speaking of alpha females, we're gonna have to talk about Miss Wendy Williams, because that bitch has been all over
Listen,
social media and all kinds of shit.
I love Wendy Williams. I watch the show. I don't get to see it at home every day, but I watch it like on YouTube and catching up. That's where I get my info from. It's the only way I can keep updated. It's the only way I can keep myself sane when I need to break from the real world. Wendy Williams has been married for several years. I want to say his name is Kevin. Kevin's his name. Not Kevin Hart. Kevin something. Kevin Williams, I'm assuming. And come to find out, I guess a private investigator was hired or something. But there are pictures of her husband, Kevin, with a woman, another woman. And they say, like, a whole expose was kind of put out, like, on, I think on Daily Mail or somewhere.
I like Daily Mail. It's good.
Yeah. I come to find out he has been seeing this woman for 10 years. 10 years to the fact of her house is only just a few minutes away from his home with Wendy.
Wow.
They have professional private investigator, private eye pictures taken. Someone was following them for almost a year.
But was it Wendy that hired her?
No one knows who hired this person. It could be the Daily Mail. It could be whomever. There's a full article expose about it. And the girl has the biggest ring on her finger.
So hold on, like he's engaged with
It doesn't
this girl?
say
Like,
whether
what's
they're
going on?
engaged. It doesn't say their status. It doesn't say what's the deal. You just see her and you see them walking around together, and you can see that baby shining through the pictures.
Wow. Shit, that is so fucked up. Though.
So, of course, Wendy is, the talk, the person who tells you everything, right? She's the rumor report. She's everything.
She delivers the dish.
She dishes it all out, and she goes in on people, which is why I like it. Like, I crack up because sometimes I really agree, and it's just funny, and it's, it's sometimes to relax. You need things
She's
like
known
that.
for keeping it real.
She's always keeping it 100. So people were like, oh, she got to bring it up. She got to mention it. She got to talk about it. She got to say something. And she did. She stayed true to her world. She's like, listen, this is what's out there. This is what's happening. But she does say that everything at home is fine. Like, don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear, which is contradictory sometimes to the things that she says, right? Like about others. But she's saying her only response was, everything is good at home. Don't believe everything you see or hear. But these pictures, I see a lot. And these pictures tell me that there is definitely, he's had this woman for 10 years. 10 years. Moved her next door.
Damn, so like, did Wendy Williams always know, or?
It doesn't say.
She must have known. I mean, if she lived next door.
Like, next door in the sense.
I really don't think.
The neighborhood of almost like within the vicinity of like the neighborhood.
Yeah,
areas.
I mean, next door for rich status. Rich people shit. Like, your house is a couple of miles from my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's still close.
It's a nice house too that he got her.
Damn, Wendy. Damn, Wendy. This is embarrassing shit.
I think
She's been on the fucking media for a while too. Like, this whole people talking shit about her.
The twist of it all is that they say that Charlemagne the God used to be friends with the girl back from his hometown.
I heard that. But that was bullshit. That was reach.
That was reach. Like,
he hadn't spoken to her like in 10 years.
Yeah, so it was like, in the same time that he's been with the girl was the last time he spoke to her. But this just goes to show, Wendy didn't really speak out too much about it. She just kind of let y'all know everything is good at home. But pictures show more than words.
Right. Well, Wendy, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be evil or like unsympathetic, but shit, like it came back. You know what I'm saying? You always reporting the news, and
now you're the news.
Right. Right. Well, Wendy, I mean, they had you looking crazy on some pictures online. They going in right now. They trying to.
They really trying to, like, when they put out those pictures of her at the beach. They really just trying her. Somebody got it out for her really out there at the Daily Mail or somewhere. She even mentioned about that in her show about the pictures. She's like, "That's good. I'm 50 something. I got my short shorts, my bikini, and I'm out here. What you want?" And that's it.
Yeah. She's unfortunately a very unattractive person.
She calls herself,
but I can appreciate that
the letter P. She knows she looks like the letter P. Come on now.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I appreciate her confidence. All of us don't have the same blessings that all of us do. Our bodies are not perfect, and we all have things we would like to correct. So to me, I'm very proud of a woman that can still be in a bikini even though she may not, quote unquote, be perfect. She's not the most attractive woman. You know what I'm saying? But her confidence really outshines anything. And I think that's what makes her dope. Because ultimately, she wasn't blessed with a lot of fortunate physical traits that other girls are. But she still carries that confidence. And I really think that's dope.
And that's what gets her charismatic. And that's why we watch. And that's why we're entertained. And all that stuff with her.
Now, with that being said, we definitely want to tell you guys thank you so much for tuning into episode 9. But we are going to start a really nice trend as well. But we want to get more involved with you guys. We're going to start doing a little bit more IG and Facebook posts for you guys to interact with our questions and for you to answer it. So we're going to call it like a Sunday brunch type of feel. You know, Sunday mornings, we're going to put our questions out there. We want to see food for thought from you guys. We're going to keep you guys entertained. And we want you guys to get involved. And we want to hear your opinions. Because you obviously hear my opinion all the time. You always hear my girl Marley Mar's opinion all the time. But it's, you know, it's important for us to hear everybody else's. So we're going to go ahead and start putting these questions out there. And we would really like you guys to stay involved.
And we'll read them out.
And
on Monday.
Yeah. And we'll shout you out on our actual podcast as well, which is pretty cool. Now, if we're gonna also wrap up what we learned from today's show, because we all have to learn, that's the point of going through these really fucked up experiences. This is what I have to say: one person's trash is still somebody else's trash sometimes. Like,
not even treasure.
Nah, no. Sometimes one person's trash is somebody else's trash too. Straight up.
I see you.
Straight up.
Yep.
So, it is what it is. For Gina, thank you for submitting your stories. We appreciate everybody putting their actual business out there and you know, being vulnerable with us. That's really dope. I really am glad that you found out who this guy was before it was too late. You know, he clearly showed you he wasn't a good guy, and he cheated on his new girl, and he's probably going to cheat on his next girl. It's just probably who he is. So, good riddance. And that's her trash for her to deal with. And with that being said, we're going to make sure to let you guys know how to follow us and to stay in tune. And as you know, Marley is our, like, Twitter specialist. Like, she's on it. You feel me? So, tell everybody how they can follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter at Messymondayspod. We'll be talking about, I love talking about love and hip hop. It's such a hot mess. So, if you want to talk about that kind of mess, I'm there. Anything trending, I'll be there. Just reading, reviewing, cracking jokes. Twitter's just for cracking jokes, like those one-liners. So follow us on Twitter, Messymondayspod. And then if you want to email us, send us your email, your story, your suggestions. We want to hear it all. It's messymondayspodcast@gmail.com. And then the IG on Instagram is Messy Mondays Podcast. And we're liking the interaction on IG, so keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting followers like on a regular, so we really appreciate that. Something's working. You know what I'm saying? Our followers are going up, and we appreciate everyone who likes and comments and like puts anything on our IG is really appreciated. We are all into cross promoting, so hit us up if you guys are interested in working with us.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Absolutely.
Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe and share. Subscribe and share. That's important. That's the only way we keep afloat. If you subscribe and you share.
Yes. And once again, I apologize. I have an English bulldog, for those of you who don't know me personally.
Bentley.
He's 72 pounds. He's a fatty. I love him. He's my baby. And he's been barking this whole episode because there might be a ghost in this house at this point.
What?
Because I don't understand what the dog is barking at.
No.
Like, he's barking at the wall and shit. Like, there's something in here. You know how they say that dogs can see shit? Like, I'm like, what is the dog barking
I might
at?
need to send you some sage.
You know my friend told me to sage my house? Damn, I didn't even do that.
You didn't do that when you moved in?
I didn't do that when I moved in.
You
I mean, no one in Def has ever lived here before. It's a brand new apartment.
But you don't know what the ground it is that it was built on.
Right.
And it's Miami. You know what people do out there? Be digging people and throwing people in swamps.
People probably got killed in this area before. You're right. All of that is very, very true. But I'm gonna have to say, guys, anybody who has a recommendation on what specific stone to use, hit us up.
You saw my post, right? My stone.
Yeah, you're like mythical now. I get it. But no, guys, I really want to say thank you so much for supporting us. Our 10th episode is next. Boom, boom. 10 episodes, guys. That's next. But this is episode 9. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. It's Messy Mondays. It's your girl, Showman, your girl, Molly Mar. We will be always live and direct, sharing some messy stories with you. We appreciate your support. Subscribe, share, and post.
Share, and post. Subscribe,
and we'll be
share,
here.
And post.